Hello there, and welcome back to the Endless Kingdom. I'm your anonymous host, and today on a not-so-critical review, we're going to be once again looking into a Netflix original. Well, the movie Hilda and the Mountain King. For those of you who have watched my last two reviews, Hilda and the Mountain King is an original movie based around the Netflix original series, based off a series of graphic novels, Hilda. The story about a young blue-haired girl and her many misadventures in the small town of Trollberg. Misadventures that deal heavily in the supernatural, which in Hilda's universe is very commonplace. So commonplace Hilda has is a pet mythical creature, a deer fox named Twig. As I've said in my reviews for seasons 1 and 2, Hilda is a show with many wild adventures told from this young blue-haired girl's perspective. Hilda herself is adventurous, a bit of a risk-taker, but very big-hearted as well. A bit irresponsible at times, but she always tries to make up for it. Not always successful, but and there are times you can tell she misses her life before Trollberg quite a bit throughout the series. That actually comes to a head in this movie, where you see Hilda and the Mountain King isn't just something separate, it takes place immediately after the season 2 finale. And brings to a head everything that we've seen thus far. The basic plot line of Hilda and the Mountain King is that at the end of Season 2, Hilda is turned into a troll. And as you might expect, she's downright terrified of it at first. Wants nothing more than return back to her mother, Joanna, who is equally worried. Joanna spends most of the movie trying to find Hilda out in troll territory, or you can get her back. All the while contending with the troll child Baba she's been forced to take care of by the troll casts the spell. Baba's mother, who we never actually get a name for, or saw her a few times throughout the series though, was rather interesting and dynamic, especially with the troll mother's interactions with Hilda, who, as I said, spends most of her time trying to undo the spell and get back home. This is a nice plot point for both of those who have only watched the movie, and for those who've kept track of the series. For those who've only watched the movie, it just plain makes sense that Hilda would want to get back. But for those who've watched the show, it shows great character growth. To the point where Hilda, even after getting to experience the wonders of being a troll, which is very similar to the life she had before moving to Trollberg, she still desires to come home to her mother Joanna. Hilda was apprehensive at best when she first moved to Trollberg after one of her misadventures accidentally destroyed her childhood home. She didn't like Trollberg or the activities she had to take part in, though she has grown to enjoy herself in Trollberg thanks to the interactions with the friend and she makes, Frida and David. Quite a bit of character growth for this girl, which is both touching and very rewarding for those who have kept up with the series. The movie even ties together with all the interconnectivity Hilda has in stride. I mentioned it a lot in my last two reviews, but things you see in the past points of the Hilda franchise always come back in one form or another. In this case, the conflict between Trollberg and trolls. Most notably, Trollberg's head of safety patrol, Eric Alberg. Blowhard, egocentric fool of a man, more concerned with trying to make a name for himself than keeping the city safe, which is brought to a head in the movie. Like, half his appearances in the movie are just him trying to make himself look better to the media of Trollberg. His actions in the latter helping Joanna look for Hilda, were mainly motivated with him trying to find access to the troll's hidden network of caves. You can't help but hope this guy will fail at everything, which he does, typically. But at least by the end, and you can see, in spite of his need for fame, he does have at least a semblance of knowing when things go too far. Actually, it leads rather well into the main conflict with the trolls. You see, throughout the movie, Hilda comes into contact with a rather large troll named Trundle. And, through striking a bit of a deal, he agrees to reverse the changeling spell if she does a few favors for him. All of them seemingly minor. Well, except for the second one, on which even Hilda questions. In fact, Trundle was the titular Mountain King, and a troll who was locked away by the rest of his kind when he tried to rally an army to destroy Trollberg, all in an attempt to allow his kind to gain access to the mother of all trolls. And Hilda plays right into it. She quickly tries to make up for when she realizes how wrong on what she did was. In spite of all the turmoil and trauma that befell Hilda, Joanna, and all her friends, everything in the end wraps up into a nice, satisfying conclusion. Many emotional moments. And the emotional moments, one of the finer points of Hilda. First two seasons were, for the most part, a nice cartoon deconstruction of childhood, in the many ways kids go through it, told through a colorful lens. And the Mountain King, while that's not really prevalent, it's still a fun tale, a tale of family, a tale of trust, a tale that tells you things aren't always as they appear. And it's definitely a tale worth watching. I would say it serves as a cap-off to the franchise, but I've read that there's another season in store. What it'll be, that's anyone's guess. But until that season comes, Hilda and the Mountain King is sure to bring you entertainment in spades, especially if you like the franchise. But, as I always say, I'm not here to tell you if the show is good or bad. I'm here to state my opinion and throw it to let you decide if Hilda and the Mountain King is something you'd like to watch. So if you think Hilda and the Mountain King strikes your fancy, you can find it for easy streaming on Netflix, along with the rest of the franchise. And if you enjoyed today's not-so-critical review, you can like the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, and click the notification bell to stay up to date on all future reviews. And until the next not-so-critical review, I've been your anonymous host to the Endless Kingdom. I wish you all a good day.